Question number 11. What is the name of the collective set of APIs that provide machine learning and artificial intelligence service to your applications like voice recognition, image tagging, and chatbot? And the options are A. Azure HD Insight, B. Azure Synapse, C. Cognitive Services, and D. Azure Machine Learning Service. So the correct answer is C, that is cognitive service. So cognitive service are a collection of domain specific pre-trained AI models that can be customized with your data. Azure Cognitive Services enables developers to easily add cognitive features into their application with cognitive solution that can see, hear, speak, understand, and even begin to reason. Now the other options are not correct as Azure Synapse is a limitless analytics service that brings together enterprise data warehousing and big data analytics. It gives you the freedom to query data on your terms using either serverless on demand or provision resources. Azure HD Insight is an analytics service for enterprise to process massive amount of data. HD Insight allows you to run popular open source framework and create cluster types such as Apache Spark, Apache Hadoop, Apache Kafka. Now the last option, machine learning. So machine learning service provides a cloud-based environment that can be used to develop, train, test, deploy, manage, and track machine learning models to implement artificial intelligence. Question number 12. A team of developers at your company plans to deploy and then remove 50 customized virtual machines each week. 30 of the virtual machines run Windows Server 2016 and 20 of the virtual machines run on Ubuntu Linux. You need to recommend which Azure service will minimize cost and the administrative effort required to deploy and remove the virtual machines. What should you recommend? And the options are A. Azure Resource Manager Template, B. Azure Virtual Machine Scale Sets, C. Azure Reserved Virtual Machines Instances, and D. Azure Dev Test Labs. So the correct answer is D. So it provides self-service cloud environment, Windows or Linux, for demo or training purposes to speed up the development process. Now the others options are not correct as Azure reserved virtual machine instance. So it help you save money by committing to 1 year or 3 year plans for multiple products. Now the next option, Azure Virtual Machine Skill Sets. So it let you create and manage a group of VM instances that can automatically increase or decrease in response to demand. And the last option, that is Azure Resource Manager Template. So templates are JSON files that define the infrastructure and configuration for your project. It's used to automate resource creation but does not help in resource management and cost saving. Question number 13. Which of the following provides a set of tools for monitoring, allocating, and optimizing your Azure cost? Select the correct option. And the options are A. Budgets, B. Azure Pricing Calculator, C. Total Cost of Ownership, and D. Azure Cost Management. So the correct answer is D. Azure Cost Management. So cost management provides a set of tools for monitoring, allocating, and optimizing your Azure cost. The main features of the cost management toolset include reporting, data enrichment, budgets, alerting, recommendation, and price. Now the others options are not correct as Azure pricing calculator. So it is used for estimating the cost of Azure products. It's used to get the cost of Azure products before you purchase them. So it cannot be used to monitor the uses of your service. The next option, total cost of ownership. So TCO helps you to use to estimate cost savings you can realize by migrating to Azure. It cannot be used to monitor or analyze the cost of existing Azure services. And the last option, budgets. So budget help you to proactively manage cost and to monitor how spending progresses over time. When the budget thresholds you have created are exceeded, only notifications are triggered. It cannot be used to allocate or optimize the cost of services. Question number 14. Which Azure configuration prevents Azure label machine updates from different availability zones from being down at the same time? Select the correct option. The options are A. Load balancing, B. Update domain, C. Fault domain, and D. Availability domain. So the correct answer is update domain. So update domain is a logical group of the underlying hardware that can undergo maintenance or be rebooted at the same time. As you create VMs within an availability set, the Azure platform automatically distributes your VMs across these update domains. Now the other options are not correct as fault domain. So it is a set of hardware component that share a single point of failure. To be a fault tolerant to a certain level, you need multiple fault domains at that level. Next option, load balancing. So load balancer provides high availability by distributing incoming traffic among healthy virtual machines. The load balancer is nothing to do to support fault tolerance at machine level updates. Last option, availability zones. So it provides data center level fault tolerance, which means deploying an application in multiple AZs will make sure that your application will remain functioning even in case of a complete data center outage. AZs cannot control fault tolerance at the machine level update. Question number 15. This question requires you to select the correct options from the drop down. Capability to quickly provision cloud resource is called. The options are agility, B elasticity, C fault tolerance, and D high availability. So the correct answer is B elasticity. So elasticity is the ability to automatically or dynamically increase or decrease resources as needed. Elastic resources match the current needs and resources are added or removed automatically to meet the future needs when it is needed. Now the other options are not correct as agility. So agility is the ability to respond to change rapidly based on changes to market or environments, ensuring fast time to the market. The next option, that is fault tolerance. So fault tolerance is the ability to remain up and running even in the event of a component no longer functioning. The last option, high availability. So high availability is the ability to keep services up and running for long periods of time with a very little downtime. Question number 16. You plan to migrate a web applications to Azure. The web application is accessed by external users. You need to recommend a cloud deployment solution to minimize the amount of administrative effort used to manage the web application. What should you include in the recommendation? The options are A. Platform as a service, B. Software as a service, C. Function as a service, and D. Infrastructure as a service. So the correct answer is A. Platform as a service. So it allows you to avoid the complexity of buying and managing software licenses and the underlying application infrastructure. You manage the application and services you develop, and the cloud service provider typically manages everything else. Whereas other options are not correct as function as a service, software as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Question number 17. What's the easiest way for an organization to combine security data from all of its monitoring tools into a single report that it can take action on? Select the correct option. And the options are A. Build a custom tool that collects security data and displays a report through a web application. B. Collect a security data in Azure Sentinel. And C. Look through each security log daily and email a summary to your team. So the correct answer is B. So Azure Sentinel is a Microsoft's cloud-based SIEM. A SIEM aggregates security data from many different sources to provide additional capabilities for threat detection and responding to threats. It also provides capabilities for threat detection and response. Now the other options are not correct. Option: build a custom tool that collects security data and displays a report through a web application. Although you could take this approach, but Sentinel is a fully featured service on Azure that provides this functionality. And the last option, that is, look through each security log daily and email a summary to your team. So this approach is time consuming. It might also delay important security events from being addressed. Question number 18. What are the characteristics of the public cloud? Select two correct options. And the options are: A. Unsecured connection, B. Dedicated hardware, C. Self service management, D. Limited storage, and E. Metered pricing. So the correct answer is C and E. So basically, public cloud is a computing service offered by a third party providers, that is Azure, over the public internet, making them available to anyone who wants to use or purchase them. Public clouds can save companies from the expensive cost of having to purchase, manage, and maintain on premises hardware and application infrastructure. Question number 19. You want to run application code without creating, configuring, or maintaining a server. Which one you choose from below? And the options are: A. Platform as a service, B. Infrastructure as a service model, C. Serverless model, and D. Software as a service model. So the correct answer is C. Serverless model. So serverless computing lets you run application code without creating, configuring, or maintaining a server. The core idea is that your application is broken into separate functions that can run when triggered by some action. Few examples of serverless application on Azure are Logic Apps, Function, or Service Fabric. Now the other options are not correct, as platform as a service allows you to avoid the expense and complexity of buying and managing software licenses and the underlying application infrastructure. The next option, software as a service. So it allows users to connect to and use cloud-based apps over the internet. Common examples are email, calendaring, and office tools. Now the last option, infrastructure as a service. So it is an instant computing infrastructure provisioned and managed over the internet. Question number 20. This question requires you to evaluate the text inside to determine if it is correct. Azure policies provide a common platform for deploying objects to cloud infrastructure and for implementing consistency across the Azure environment. Select no change needed if the above statement is correct, otherwise select the correct answer. The options are: A. No change needed, B. Resource group provide, C. Management groups provide, and D. Azure Resource Manager provides. So the correct answer is D. So Azure Resource Manager is the deployment and management service for Azure. It provides a management layer that enables you to create, update, and delete resources in your Azure account. Now the other options are not correct, that is management groups. So management groups are containers that help you manage access, policies, and compliance for multiple subscription. The next option, resource group. So resource group is a unit of management for resources in Azure, allows you to logically group Azure resource together. This allows you to manage the application collectively over its life cycle rather than manage components individually. Now the last option, Azure policies. So Azure policy helps to enforce organizational standards and to access compliance at scale. Azure policy evaluates resources in Azure by comparing the properties of those resources to business rules. So here it ends the second part of the video, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Happy learning.